quick question for Dan McClellan.
All right, let's see it.
Why do we never hear about Asherah potentially being the mother of Yahweh, or Adonai as you would usually put it? The evidence seems to line up better with that than her as a consort, and yet I never see it. Have I missed something? Was there some great big debate that I'm not privy to? What's happening there? Cheers.
Hey, thank you for a wonderful question. I think most critical scholars of early Israelite religion would suggest there was a rather brief time period during which Asherah would have been considered the mother of Adonai, and this period would have stretched from Adonai's introduction to the pantheon on the second tier all the way to the conflation of Adonai and El. And that time period was likely only around a century or so. Adonai was probably conflated with El, or began to be conflated with El, rather soon after being introduced into the pantheon. And once Adonai is conflated with El, El's consort partner wife, Asherah, becomes Adonai's consort partner wife. And so in Deuteronomy 32, 8 and 9, this is, I think, the clearest evidence we have for this early period in the history of Adonai's presence in the pantheon, where they seem to be represented as one of the Bnei Elohim, as one of the children of the Most High God, Elyon. And that would be the period where Adonai would have been one of the offspring of Asherah and El. However, again, Adonai would have been conflated with El probably pretty quickly after that. I suggest somewhere around 1000 BCE. Maybe it took a couple centuries for that understanding of Adonai's identity to become the consensus view, to reach a critical mass. We can't really say for sure. So while I think most scholars who reconstruct a history of Adonai similar to the way I and other critical scholars do would suggest there is a period where Adonai would have been the son of Asherah, we don't really have any texts or iconography or anything that witness to that perspective on their relationship. It's really the post-conflation relationship where Asherah and Adonai are partners that we have reflected in inscriptions, in iconography, and things like that. And then the later representation of Asherah as the queen of heaven, or as this divine image that is associated with Adonai in the temple. That's all reflective of the post-conflation view of Adonai and Asherah as partners. So hopefully that explains how scholars reconstruct that and why we don't really hear many scholars talking about Asherah as the mother of Adonai, and far more commonly as the consort partner or wife of Adonai. And the fit for this video has been the death of Superman.